Hey, what is up guys? It is Needle. In today's video I'll be covering how to do faster 90s on console Fortnite and controller Fortnite in general. So this will be a full guidance tutorial on how to get your 90s faster and how to improve over time. And so just to start, it's only fitting, I'll just run you through a quick example of full motion 90s and how I build them specifically and just kind of the speed I go at, and you can watch and take some things away from that. So I'll just show you the full blown 90s that I do, and I'll do a 3 high here to show you. Alright, so that was like a full-blown triple 90, and I'll come down here just to show you guys. So yeah, it's going to be 3 stories high, and then notice as I ramp out here after the third one, and that's due to jump fatigue. I'll cover jump fatigue a little bit more specifically in a later part of this video, but yeah, this is what 90s will look like. That's as high as you can get them without having to go through jump fatigue, and so yeah, that's what a basic 90 would look like. And so to cover why 90s are even used to begin with, well, as you can see, they are very quick. Like, that's a very quick and fluid motion to build up that high once you get the pattern of it down. So why they're really used is if there's an enemy on you and you know you're fighting for high ground, this is the quickest way to get up, basically in like a 1x1, and get high ground over somebody without having to use all your mats to build a 1x1, and it's going to be a lot more efficient and quicker. So the main purpose is going to be to hit a 90-degree turn to get high ground on somebody. But don't get me wrong, there are a lot of situations where it's going to be better to use a 180. Let's run through here right here. So instead of going all the way just to 90, you're going to want to hit right here, boom, right back around. So it's just going to be varied on the situation. So just keep that in mind. That's not always going to be the same thing, and different builds are going to be better at certain times of the game. And as far as walking you guys through how I do my 90s and like the order I place things, I'll run through it right here. So obviously you're going to want to start with a ramp here, and if you're just ramping up, you're not going to have to put this floor piece here because it's a little unnecessary. But I'll just show you the order I go, and I'll go really slow. So the way I do it, at least, is I'm going to go boom with this wall here first, and then you're going to turbo build this. So hold down R2 the whole time while you're building the walls, and then as you're walking up, you're going to want to stay on the left side, and then go here to here to here, and then once I do that, I'm going to jump, catch myself with this ramp, and at the same time, I'm going to throw down the floor. So I'll do that a little bit, I'll go a little bit faster, but it still goes slow for you guys. So walk up like this, and then boom, boom, turbo build all these, get that one down there, and then catch myself with that, and then go like that. So in full motion, it would look like this. So yeah, that's just the motion I go in. I think it's a pretty quick one, and it's when you're going up, you're going to kind of take like almost like a U, like a kind of like a half circle motion to hit it, and then hit your jump from there. So that's something to keep in mind, is like the motion you want to go on your control stick, or I'm sorry, on your right stick when you're going up. You want to make sure you're going to be in control, and plant sensitivity you're going to be comfortable with for that. Yeah, so that's the order it's supposed to go down, or the way I do it at least, to make sure you protect yourself and block everything off. So I'll walk through like a really, really, really simple way. This is how I would suggest to anybody that's learning 90s, you're new to 90s, just the whole building in general of going very quick with it. You want to get faster. This is what you should be doing right here. So it's going to be like a slow motion, and do it without floors and don't jump. So when you're just first starting, this is what you should start with. Walk up the side here, and then literally just only hit this. And then get this one down here, obviously, and then just jump. So it would look like this. Right? So when you do that, that's just like the simple motion without having to learn all the combos and the button patterns of getting like the floor under the ramp and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot quicker if you just go through it slow. So if you have to, honestly, walk through it. You don't even have to, per se, just don't even run. Like I said, just walk through it, and then just go as slow as you can. This is how fast you can go this fast. And then over time, you're going to get faster with it, and then pick up speed as you go. And that's the whole point, is you want to start off slow with it. And if you don't start off slow and just try to go build crazy right away, it's really not going to get you anywhere, because it's a really hard motion to learn. But once you do get it down, it's going to be a lot more useful in pubs and anything in scrims. You're going to love having 90s on your arsenal. And another tip for someone that's first starting when you're going slow like that, I know in this in the previous example I did when I started the video, I went up 3 high. But when you're just starting, if you can get this motion down, ramp out every time. So once you do 190, ramp out. It's going to be way easier to practice and just kind of like reset mentally to go ramp out and then go to your next 90, right? Instead of going like this, like that's going to be a lot tougher at the beginning at least. So yeah, just ramp out every time. And like I said, just go as slow as you can. So let's say you practice at this method and you straight up got this. You don't have to put the floor yet. Like you're just trying to get the motion down. You're ramping out every time and you got it while you're running. that's really good progress. And then what I suggest from there is if you feel like it might be your sensitivity holding you back or you're not quick enough with that, I would say legit just keep practicing the way you're doing it, but try to up your sensitivity. If you just can't hit, let's say, that last wall in the turbo build, don't be scared to run up your sensitivity so you can go down and hit that angle to hit that one and just work with it. It's going to take a lot of time with 90 specifically since it's going to be like a weird motion. Like I'd say at least, if you're really looking to learn and you haven't done it before, spend at least 30 minutes to an hour just practicing in playgrounds, going slow, and then watch it transition over in your game as you learn. It's just going to be a lot more fluid, a lot more fundamental in your build fights, and your fighting is going to become a lot cleaner. And then another big tip here for 90s that I see people doing, but some people actually do not make use of it. So if you watch, like when you go up through a 90 here, I'm going to be sticking on this left side here the entire time. You don't have to go far left, but stick on the left side. Because you think about it, you're going to be running up here, you're going to be catching yourself, and then you're taking off the same motion right here. It's going to be on the left side again, right? So that's why I think it's so important to make sure you're sticking on the left side. I'll see a lot of people, I'll go through right here. If I went on the middle, like right here, and then I jump up, it's going to be a lot. You can still get it off, but you're going to end up Harry Pottering yourself like that. Get yourself caught under the stairs, called a Harry Potter. It's just going to be a lot harder if you're going to be more towards the middle. So stick towards the left side. That's another big tip I do not see people utilizing. If you're learning, make sure that you're sticking to the left side and just get the fundamental of that down. As I mentioned with the slower ones, you're going to want to ramp out after every 90 you do, when you're first learning them at least. After time, you'll learn how to do the triple 90 and whatnot. I'm not sure if it's called that. That's why I call it the triple 90, going up 3 stories high. But ramp out, like I said, because there is jump fatigue. So the reason why you can't do too many is like, I'll just show you here with jump fatigue. So obviously with this motion, the whole point of a 90 is like the fluid motion of building while you're running. So you're keeping your momentum and it's very quick. That's why it's so efficient. But you do jump a lot when you're doing a 90. So just watch this here. So if I'm just spamming X jumping, you can get 3 jumps off, and then after that, look how much noticeably, like, yeah, and you get all the way down there. So after a while, you just can't jump. So that's why it's really important to be noticed jump fatigue, and that's why you have to ramp out eventually, and you can't just straight go into the sky, 90ing up. That's just because of jump fatigue, and it's going to slow you down after a while as you continue moving. So yeah, so I just covered that simple 90 that I use, but there are different ones. So let's say, like, this is situational, and I'm sure these all have specific names that someone's already claimed before, but this is just how I do them. I don't have names for it, but I just have different variations that I work with, and these are just good to practice to have them ready in game. So for this one at least, let's say in this situation, let's say I had like a guy to my side here. I'm getting third party from the side here, and I need to start building up because I want to get for height. So instead of coming up and going boom, hit this one, this wall. I'm sorry, I pulled the wall to make it easier, so they'll go boom, boom, boom. I'll go like this to start, just to start, so to cover off my side. Because I'm building up and I'm doing all this, I'm still going to be, and there's a guy right here per se, I'm still going to be ripped from the side. Like, there's just no point. That's why it's very situational. So I'll stick to the left side, obviously, but instead of throwing this one down this wall first, I'll throw this one first, like this, and basically hit the opposite motion. And I'll just go through this. It's going to be a lot harder. And it's going to be a lot harder to hit your builds on it. That's why it's really important to have your sensitivity up when doing stuff like this. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I think that's really useful, just to start at least, is just starting the 90 and covering your right side first, just in case if there's somebody on your side. I think that's a big tip that people don't utilize, so keep that in mind when you start practicing 90s. So as I mentioned through all these builds earlier, it's going to be really important to go slow. That's why I don't think a lot of people go slow, because they see the clips of people going crazy, you know, doing the quickest 90s in the game. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, just don't be scared to go slow. And the big thing that goes with that and getting better at 90s is just over time upping your sensitivity, you know. It's going to be a lot harder, especially if you're coming from, like, let's say you're running like 6 sensitivity but no building sensitivity. It's going to be a lot harder to learn your 90s because that's just so low. Like, I'll show you my settings here. Why I think one of the most important things is just to ramp up your sensitivity over time. So for right now, for this video, I'm using 0.71 on the X, 0.65 on the Y, and then the building sensitivity of 1.5. And then just to break that down, my X is going to be close to 11 building sensitivity wise. What I'm building is going to be close to 11 since I do have that 1.5 multiplier. And then 0.65 times 1.5 is going to be close to around 9, 10. That's why I think it's so important to up your sensitivity. Like, this is a pretty high sensitivity, and I'm used to it at this point. So just keep practicing your 90s and practice with your sensitivity as you continue to go up, because you're going to get well adjusted after a while. Like, I'm pretty used to the sensitivity I'm on, and I'm kind of experimenting moving up to like maybe 1.6 building sense. Yeah, I mean, they're not the most perfect, but I think they're pretty quick for my 90s, but I do want to get them just that much quicker if I can. That's for me, at least. So, yeah, so that's for me. Just, in general, though, start slow with your 90s and practice them slow. Practice them with you don't have to put the floor down every time. But just make sure you up your sensitivity, because the quicker they are, the more efficient they are going to be. And that's going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for the recent support. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. We've been blowing up recently, and I want to thank you guys so much. That's awesome to me. I want to see how far we can go and how fast we can grow. It's been awesome. Just want to say thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video here. Comment down below if this helped you at all. Let me know if it didn't. I'm open to anything. And that's all, guys. I'll be streaming later tonight. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you.